The courtroom in the Harris County Courthouse in Houston, Texas, was sweltering that June afternoon in 2025, even with the AC humming. The kind of heat that makes your shirt stick to your back and your thoughts turn sluggish. I sat there, 34-year-old Sarah Whitaker, in a simple black pantsuit, my grandmother's gold locket around my neck for luck. Across the aisle, my own mother, Lorraine Whitaker, now Lorraine Beaumont after marrying her third husband, stared daggers at the judge. She was testifying, her voice dripping with faint concern, but her words cut like knives. "Sarah's always been unstable, Your Honor," she said, her southern drawl thickened for effect. "Ever since she was a teen, she's had issues. Mental ones. She manipulated my poor mama into changing that will. I just want what's right. Someone competent to handle the estate. And that ain't her." The judge, Elena Vasquez, a sharp-eyed Latina woman in her early 60s with a no-tolerance policy for nonsense, listened patiently as Mom's lawyer, Travis Hale, a slick young buck in an ill-fitting suit, wrapped up. Then she leaned forward, adjusting her glasses. "Counselor," she said, her tone dry as Texas dust, "do you have any idea who this unstable woman is? The one your client once declared incompetent?" Travis blinked, shuffling papers. Mom's face went from smug to ashen in seconds. "Let me tell you how I, a certified forensic accountant specializing in elder fraud, ended up exposing my own mother's scheme in a Houston courtroom, and how it became the sweetest justice I'd ever served. My story starts in the humid suburbs of Dallas, where I grew up in a ranch-style house that always smelled like fried chicken and regret. Dad was a oil rig worker, gone weeks at a time, and Mom, she was a dreamer, always chasing the next big thing. Their divorce when I was 13 was a hurricane, accusations flying, custody battles lost. Dad headed west to Oklahoma for work, and Mom didn't fight for me. Instead, she hooked up with a car dealership owner named Earl Beaumont and moved to Austin, leaving me with my paternal grandmother, Mabel Whitaker, in a modest bungalow in Fort Worth. Grandma Mabel was the heart of Texas toughness. A retired factory worker who'd spent 38 years on an assembly line at a General Motors plant, earning no more than $45,000 a year at her peak. She lived frugally, clipping coupons, balancing her checkbook every Saturday with black coffee and a biscuit. "Money talks, Sarah," she'd say, her voice gravelly from years of shift work. "But it don't lie. Follow the trail, and you'll see the snakes." She raised me on values of hard work, honesty, and barbecue Sundays. Thanks to her encouragement, I got into Texas A&M on a partial scholarship, majoring in accounting. By 27, I'd certified as a forensic accountant, focusing on elder financial abuse, cases where con artists drained seniors' savings through phony investments, forged powers of attorney, or manipulated estates. I'd testified in 42 cases across the state, from Dallas to San Antonio, helping convict 35 fraudsters. Judges knew my name. Prosecutors called me reliable. Mom and I, radio silence for 21 years. No birthday cards, no holiday calls. She'd built a flashy life in Austin with Earl, big house, country club membership, stepkids from his previous marriage. I didn't miss her. Grandma filled that gap. But when Grandma passed at 83 from a stroke, going quietly in her sleep with me reading her favorite Western novel aloud, the vultures circled. Grandma left me everything. Her Fort Worth home, appraised at $320,000 in the hot Texas market. A savings account with $185,000, and a small annuity from her factory pension. It wasn't oil baron wealth, but it was hers, earned through sweat and overtime. I'd helped her update her will 2 years prior, with a lawyer and witnesses to ensure it was bulletproof. 5 weeks after the funeral, a courier delivered a thick envelope from Travis Hale, in Austin. Mom was contesting the will. She claimed Grandma had severe Alzheimer's in her final years, that a estate, with herself in charge, naturally. I read it twice, then burst out laughing in my Houston apartment. The nerve. The woman who ditched me for a better life now accused me of elder abuse. But laughter faded to determination. I called my boyfriend, Jake Ramirez, a high school coach with a big Texas heart and a family that still did Friday night lights together. His parents had been married 45 years, running a small taco truck business. He didn't get dysfunction. Reach out to her, he urged. Maybe it's guilt. Families fix things. I loved Jake's optimism, but it felt naive. Mom didn't know if I preferred sweet or unsweet tea, but she'd nailed the estate value in her filing, $185,000. Money sharpened her memory. The petition snowballed. Mom filed for an immediate asset freeze, alleging I was squandering funds. Her evidence, my high school counselor notes, depression from abandonment, spun as lifelong psychiatric disorder. She had an affidavit from her stepdaughter, Brittany Beaumont, 29, claiming I'd always been erratic and unfit for finances. Brittany hadn't seen me since I was 13. The blowback was swift. My firm, Lone Star Fraud Analytics in Houston, benched me. My boss, Tom Grady, a grizzled ex-Texas Ranger, pulled me aside. Sarah, this is bull. I know you're solid, but clients, they see mental incompetence in the news, and we're toast. Insurance won't cover it. Not fired, but no cases, no testimonies. 8 years of grinding, building a representative as the go-to expert on paper trails, poof. Snooping into Mom and Earl's finances revealed the desperation. Earl's dealerships were failing, electric cars shifting the market, plus a recession bite. They owed $380,000 in loans, house mortgaged twice, credit cards at limit. Grandma's estate was their bailout. Jake and I clashed hard one humid evening. His mom had asked if I had secrets. Just get evaluated, he said. End this. I exploded. It's not about proving sanity. It's letting her steal without consequence. He left slamming the door. Alone, I stared at Grandma's photo from my A&M graduation. She grinned like I'd conquered the Alamo. Trails don't lie, she'd say. Time to follow one. As joint account holder, I pulled Grandma's statements. In her last 12 months, amid mild memory lapses, misplacing glasses but still beating me at Scrabble, there were 9 odd cash pulls, $3,500 to $14,000 each, totaling $58,000. Each linked to Mom's visits, jotted in Grandma's day planner. Mom had reappeared after decades, feigning remorse. I drove to Fort Worth that weekend, Jake offering to tag along but tension lingering. I declined. The house still smelled like her, lavender soap and fresh-baked bread. Rifling through drawers, I hit gold in her gun safe, Texas staple, a hidden journal. Entries began 13 months before death. First, Mom called, tearful, wanting forgiveness. Grandma was skeptical but open-hearted. Then, loans for emergencies, signed papers on a bad day. Grandma realized too late, it was a power of attorney giving Mom control. Ashamed to tell Sarah, she wrote, she's strong, she'll fight, document all. The POA notary seal belonged to a retired Austin notary, license lapsed in 2020, document dated 2024. Fake, criminal, deeper dive. Earl's ex-wife's estate, evaporated, post-2014 death. His uncle's in 2018. No prosecutions, but red flags waved. I rang my attorney, Maria Gonzalez, a fierce Houston litigator and former DA. This is federal. Wire fraud if banks involved, she said. Let's trap them. I wanted 'em overconfident in court. Let 'em perjure themselves. Maria nodded. Texas justice. Darlin. Our response. Bare bones denial. Hearing request. No spoilers. Travis deposed me. I answered minimally, playing broken. Mom watched via Zoom, grinning. She bought it. Week before trial, Brittany messaged Maria. Wanted coffee. Risky, but we met at a Whataburger in Waco, Midway. Brittany looked worn, nails chewed, coffee untouched. Earl wrote that affidavit, she confessed. Threatened my job at the dealership. She spilled. Earl siphoned his uncle's funds, faked bills. Brittany feared inheritance loss. He's ruthless. For her testimony, I'd advocate immunity. Relief washed over me. Jake waited with Tex-Mex takeout. I'm sorry, he said, poring over evidence. You're a fighter, he vowed courtroom support. June 15, Harris County. I arrived early, suit crisp. Jake sat with co-workers. Mom sauntered in late, in a flashy red blouse, wearing grandma's locket, pilfered. Earl played concerned hubby. Brittany fidgeted. Travis's opening. Mom as worried kin, me as exploiter. Mom ranted on stand. Sarah's sick. Incompetent. Judge Vasquez's query. Who is she? Travis. Accountant. Maria stood. Allow us. Bank timelines. Journal reads. Forged POA. Earl's patterns. Silence deafened. Mom blanched. Earl stiffened. Recess. Travis withdrew. Judge. Not so fast. DA and FBI referral. Denied. FBI arrested July. Charges. Fraud. Exploitation. Trial October. Guilty. Mom. 7 years. Earl. 9. Assets sold. Restitution paid. I kept the house. Proposed to Jake there over brisket. Yes. Firm reinstated me. First case back recovered $95,000 for a Beaumont widow. In America, where bootstrap stories like grandmas define us, justice balances the scales. Predators fall when truth trails lead home.